name is Mackenzie. I'm going to be teaching Brian how to do a handstand while Alejandro explains our motor learning principles. So the first thing I'm going to do is just demonstrate the handstand for Brian so that he understands what the task that we're going to do. Just like that. Nice and simple.
Okay.
So now I'm going to have Brian attempt the handstand while I stand here for safety. This is his first attempt. Okay, that wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. Okay, how do you think that went?
Not great.
Okay, what do you think you could do to improve that?
Get my legs like more overhead.
Okay, yeah.
And
So
then, I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe
one thing
keep
we're
my legs straight.
good.
Or my arms
Keep
straight.
your arms straight. Yes, that's one thing we're going to work on. We're also going to work on really making sure the rest of your body's tight so that you can stay balanced in the air. And we're going to move to the wall just to make it a little easier for you. And Alejandro's going to explain why we're going to do that.
So far we just did like a visual example of whole practice, so just showing him the entire task. And after he got some knowledge of results from like his errors, he was also like asked some open-ended questions for intrinsic feedback, just to see how he did and what he could do better. And then after, Mackenzie showed him some extrinsic feedback to help him out with some techniques. And now we're just gonna try to regress the movement so we can like just match his intensity.
Okay, so now we've moved so that we have a nice wall for a background. This is going to make it a little easier on Brian. So it takes some of the stress off his legs, and then I'm also going to help support your legs so that it makes it easier for you when your legs are in the air.
Okay.
And then when you push off, I really want you to focus on having a stronger push off with your legs. So don't be afraid to get your legs up and over your head.
Okay.
And keeping your arms nice and straight like we just talked about.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready. Alejandro is going to explain what we can do to make it better.
So you saw that we switched from a discovery learning to a more guided learning where Mackenzie was trying to be a little more thorough with like the exact steps that Brian should take. But the intensity obviously did not match the current learning ability of Brian. So what we're doing is we're transitioning our technique to like just regress to a position where he can complete the task, right?
Yep. So now what I'm going to have you do is you're going to face away from the wall. You're going to put your hands on the ground and walk your feet up the wall.
Nice. Perfect. And then walk your hands towards the wall so your feet are right over your head. Good. And then let's see if you can bring your feet off the wall. Nice. Beautiful. All right, let's bring your feet off the wall. That's so much better.
We started with a discovery learning, and since the skill was a little bit too complex, we transitioned to a guided learning where they were kind of like, we were kind of trying to teach Brian how to do it kind of more step by step. And then we did intrinsic and extrinsic feedback. We started out with some open-ended questions just so he can process his errors and how he can improve on that. And then we also added like a couple of verbal and tactile cues to help him out with some extrinsic feedback.
Something else that was really important for this skill was increasing the repetitions. We'd have him do more reps off camera. We just didn't have time in the video. But increasing the reps increases the amount of practice he gets, which is also strengthening his neural pathways, which is what's going to help him learn a motor skill.
Yeah, and then we varied the intensity, so they start off just seeing where I was at, just trying to do regular handstand, and they, which was more difficult or the most difficult, and then they progressively try to work, so then me against the wall, realized that that was also difficult, at least at my stage, and then had me do like a crawl up the wall with my feet and held it, so yeah.